right, welcome everyone to the very first episode of what may be a new semi-ongoing series here on Rennavision. The SNS boys had to take the night off, so I figured, you know what? I'll fill the spot with something new I've been dying to try for a while now. This was a little bit of a subsection I had for hidden gems that I hit on occasionally. I had a few lists of these that I wanted to go through, and it felt bigger than that subset of a show could be, so I decided to spin it off into its own thing and called it Deja Vu. More on what that is in a second. But first, hopefully you're enjoying everything we're doing here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to know what this show is all about, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I'm about to explain it. All right, so you may be asking yourself, what exactly is deja vu? Well, you know what deja vu is in and of itself. You're like, God, I feel like I've seen this before, or this has happened before. And it seemed like a perfect title for what I'm about to cover here, which are homage covers. I'm a fan of these. I love seeing them when they're done for movie posts, comic books doing movie posters, other comics, etc. I think they're a lot of fun. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a little subset series focused mainly on homage covers. Now, I know you noticed I said it a couple different ways already, but just so you know, before you start correcting people, there are multiple different ways for you to say the word homage. Starting off with the US version, which is pronounced homage. By and large, my research indicates that homage is how you would say it in the US, as opposed to over in the UK, you will pronounce the H and it would be homage. So you got homage and you got homage. And then if you really want to get fancy, you could do the French version on which the word itself is based and do homage, if you want to stress it that way. So homage, 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 all are right. So don't go try to be grammar police correcting people, because you can say it any one of these three different ways and basically you're still correct. That all said, with this idea in hand, I'm not just going to give you a random sampling of a bunch of different books saying, hey, look at this cool cover is doing this cover, or this one's doing that one. That would be way too messy and we'll be bouncing all over the place. So I decided, considering the sheer breadth of options we have for certain covers, let's cover one and go through a bunch that cover that same book, starting off with probably one of the most homaged covers out there, which is Amazing Spider-Man 300. Yes, this is my copy. I never got it graded because it's not in that great a shape, but it's my personal copy, so it's mine, and it has sentimental value for that. With that said, ASM 300 is a book that I know you've seen this done over and over and over and over. But before we get into that, for any of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, please use my link below, sign up, give it a try, get yourselves a free 15 bucks to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. Give it a try. You get 15 bucks. You'll help out the channel, and, you get yourself something nice. So you really got nothing to lose. Why not give it a shot? So with that said, let's look at Amazing Spider-Man 300, because yes, there are a lot. We're not going to cover all of them. I did my best. We're going to look at a bunch of them, trust me, but we're not going to look at all of them. I know I've missed some, and if I miss some and you think they're cool, please mention them in the comments down below, because I'm sure somebody out there will also be interested in finding out more about some of these covers, because yeah, there's a lot, and not all of them are great. Just to be fair, not all of them are great. Some are well done. Some are well thought out. Others are just over and over. But before we get to those, let's look at the book itself, which this book has been on quite a ride the last few years. Granted, there are tons and tons out there, but during the lockdown time when we're all at home, this book got crazy. People kept spending more and more and more and more. It's kind of come down since then, but it is still a very expensive book, whether it's raw or graded, to the tune of it's over 400 bucks raw for a near mint copy. Not a 9.8 candidate, just a near mint copy, something in a 9.0 to 4.94 kind of range. So that's good enough to net you about over 400 bucks. So just keep that in mind. For that in and of itself is, it's worthy to know that that's the original book. That's what the original book goes for, because a lot of these aren't worth anything close to that. And I'm not going to give you pricing on every single book we cover here, because I don't got that kind of time. Especially when we get into the Kickstarters and exclusives. I've got nothing against showing the exclusives. I'm not going to say where they all came from. I will if I remember, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to show you because there's a lot of them. But before we get into getting to all of those, let's cover some of the easier covers that we can remember that do actually have some value. Starting off with, this is issue 300, which, as you know, many point to the first appearance of Venom, even though he kind of cameoed a couple issues before. It is what it is. Point being, this is the 300 cover, iconic as it is. It was immediately redone by Todd McFarlane with 301. Immediately, he came out with this, which, again, it's all right. He can homage himself, because this is a really cool cover, and I love both of these. I love the black suit, and I love him going back to the original red and blues. So, not faulting this here. That is happened right away. I kind of like it, actually. But that bright white background, this book in and of itself, 301. Also, it's about $75, $74. Kind of very fine condition. Not even a near mint copy. So I'm just to, again, make things easier, I'm grabbing these prices and these estimates off cover price. So give them a look-see. They do have a lot of good information over there. They're a good resource for us as the community. So go take a look. Again, makes my job a little easier than having to go do a lot of math and numbers like I got to do for the Hot 10. But with that said, there's one for you right off the bat. Right after issue 300, we come back with 301. Todd is not afraid of homaging himself. We will see this cover done by him quite a few times here today. And our next one is when he was doing Hulk. So, Incredible Hulk 344. Pretty fun one, though. Kind of like it. It's different, but it still calls back to, that 300. You got the moon in place of the circle background. And, yeah, it's kind of fun, right? I like it. I like it. That said, this is $25, $30 book, thereabouts. What is it? 27 and very fine. That's a 7.0 to 8.5. So most of your random copies will just greater kind of there. Nicer, you got to pay a little bit more. If it's a little banged up, you pay a little bit less. Cool, right? Now, it's not just Todd doing it. A lot of other artists have done this cover over and over again for all different types of characters. And another one that actually has a little bit of extra, I guess, cachet to it is here. We got a Red Sonja, Agent of Chaos, with I think that's Evil Ernie there on the cover doing it on the 25th anniversary of Chaos. All right. I mean, it's a $4 book out of Dynamite when it came out. And, this one right now, it's $16. It's not going to make you rich, but there's an interesting, fun, little different one. Another one I know you guys know a lot about is the Stephen Platt. He did this on his Moon Knight run in 57. Yeah. You add Moon Knight to the bottom of it there, but you still go with that moon idea that he took from the Hulk, and you got Spidey in that familiar pose doing his thing. This is Stephen Platt doing his best McFarlane. Cool. And even says after Todd. That I love when artists actually pay homage, and tip a cap in their signature and point to it as he does down below there, right near Moon Knight's knee. It says Platt after Todd. So you're paying credit to the artist and acknowledging where you're getting the idea, and you're paying tribute to it. That was another idea I had for this show, was to call it tribute covers, but I kind of like Deja Vu. Gives you that kind of, feel this. I've seen this before. But anyway, let me know which way you like it better. You like Deja Vu? You want me to do something more with tribute? Because doing homage and saying homage and explaining how to say it differently every time is not something I want to keep doing. So with that, let's just keep rolling and look at this book. It's over $100 now. So due to the popularity of Moon Knight, I mean, he had his own series for a while. Stephen Platt's come back to us in comics after what seemed like a long break. So his original Moon Knight run, does pretty well if you can find a couple of these books. And 57 is one of those top tier ones for him. Now, I mentioned Todd was not afraid to do the homage thing himself. So is it a surprise to see he did this for Spawn? My only question is, why did he do it on Spawn 227? He just did a bunch of homages to himself at that time with Spawn. He did like the 316, etc. A lot of covers he covered over himself and other things at that time. There was a run of a bunch of issues, but here we go with 227. This one, it's a classic. A lot of people look for it. It's over $115 if you could find this. If you could find this cover, and this is just part of the regular Spawn run, which is during the time it was getting, kind of low print, low orders, if you will. So to kind of boost some sales, he decided to do this cover run, which I think gave a little bit of life, but maybe too little too late. That said, he even tried to push it with some incentive options, and there are incentives for some of these covers that are also pretty valuable and pretty tough to find, including for 227. We have this version of it, which is the, I believe, the 1 in 25. And again, it's not cheap. This is almost $1,000 if you can find this raw. So if you can find this 1 in 25, I think it's a 1 in 25, $9.50 in near mint is that going rate for this one. So again, it's sort of a black and white. It's, yeah, that's kind of the thing they went with the incentives. They sort of made them black and white, but not completely black and white because we got that color splash in the background, but there's no 227, filling the gaps. Now, again, I still don't know why 227 was the number for him to do this, but as you might expect, when he did finally get around to 300, he did it again. So, yeah. Here we go. Spawn 300, doing ASM 300 again. Cool. This was one of many, many covers that came out at the time. A lot of covers, a lot of different artists. But obviously, a lot of folks would be interested in the homage to himself. So this one, despite being an $8 buy-in when it came out, is still a $22 book right now. So got a little bit of a premium on it if you want to go and find it. And it did so well and printed so many times, we got extra prints. Granted, they didn't redo this on the second print, but I believe with the later prints on the third went to green and the fourth went to the black and white kind of sketchy look. So you got later prints for this book as well, just to redo that homage look. I mean, look, we already did like a dozen covers and I really didn't even get to the meat of this. But with that said, we're not even done with this book. This book, there's already what? If you count the 227 with Spawn doing it, you got 2 there and you got these 3. We got 5. We're not done because at the time it was con season. And during con season, you see a lot of covers that may be popular get redone yet again. And that was the case for Spawn 300 as we got at New York Comic Con, this silver version, which I don't even remember what it was limited to, but this was the easier to find. Maybe it was 1,000. I don't know. Maybe it was 700, something like that. Point being, this book still does well. It's $108 for the silver foil 300 New York Comic Con version. There was also a much harder to find and more rare gold version, which I think was less than, it was like 500 or less, something like that. I don't know. People were fighting over it. It was all kinds of craziness. Spawn 300 gold. Here we go. This one is also worth a bit with a $213 price on it for a near mint copy. So cool. And those are some of the more valuable versions of this, but that doesn't stop publishers and artists from doing it over and over and over again. That said, before we get into the rest of them, I want to take a moment for any of you out there who need to buy your supplies. Use my code RENA10. Use the link below even to make it easier on yourself. Get your stuff from BCW. Get your bags, your boards, your long boxes and short boxes, top loaders, things for your boxes for your CGC slabs, anything you need to keep your collectibles safe. You got to spend that money on it. Might as well save money while you do it. Save 10% using the code RENA10 right here. Speaking of 10, let's look at a bunch of these, as I mentioned, that are pretty cheap, that are under $10. So these are going to be under $10 versions of this book in an homage form. So with that, I'm going to come a little bit fast and furious because, like I said, we got a lot of these books to go, and I don't want to make this an hour show just talking about the same comics. So here we go. Web of Spider-Man. Hitting it up with issue 100. We got the silver foil. We got the silver armor. We got the green foil in the background. Cool. He's doing the pose, albeit a bit of a reverse style, but still you can see the inspiration, if you will, behind this one. Okay, this one could be argued that it's not exactly it, but still, it's a cheap copy. You could find this in dollar bins, but by and large, the going rate for this one's $7. And again, I'm not going to price all these. I just had a few of these done, so I just left it in. Another one, Venom. Rocking my Venom hat. And, that was the creation of the black suit. We got Venom. So on the Venom series from back in the day when it was Agent Venom, it was Flash Thompson in the symbiote. By issue 2, they decided to do this. So we have an After McFarlane little note there on the scroll. Once again, paying homage, paying tribute to the original creator. Love it when I see that. So that one's pretty cool to have that in there too. $9 generally on this one. I believe there is later printing. There's a second print on this one as well. Again, I can't show you all the covers because we'd be here all day. So again, just showing you random stuff like this, complete randomness. How about Dark Devil from Hyperverse Comics? Pop it out there. All right, how about we put Mickey in the role of Spider-Man here with Amazing Spider-Man? Huh? Why not throw Mickey in there? And again, there's a black and white 1/100 of this too, if you really like it. Other companies, newer publishers like Massive and what they're doing over at Whatnot, decided to get in on the action with here. We got Ninja Funk with the Wolf Laser. So you got Wolf Laser all in the background. Cool. Marvel has done this just as much as the other companies have done it, and they've redone it to the point where we got it here on Amazing Spider-Man 52, which ain't that long ago. We're only at issue like 65, so this wasn't that long ago. But instead of the numbers, we got the ha-ha-has in there like it's the Joker, but it's not the Joker, it's the Green Goblin. Cool. Speaking of Marvel, we got Spider-Boy, but we put Wolverine in the role there because Marvel did a whole series of covers homaging other Marvel covers, but focused in on Wolverine just a couple months ago. So for the 50th anniversary of Wolverine, we get Snick, Snick, Snick on Spider-Boy number 3. Cool. Marvel again, ASM 700. So going back 400 issues, they decided to tip the cap back. But this time out in 700, it was Doc Ock in the brain of Peter Parker. But they did the cover here. And again, it notes after McFarlane there in the background. I believe this was Ramos doing this one. So also pretty cool. This is the second printing, by the way, of ASM 700. So even sometimes we don't get to the homage until a second printing or a later printing. Another case of that is more recent in this Edge of Spider-Verse, where we got this Spooky Man Venom symbiote thing. And on the second print, they decided to do the whole ASM treatment. Again, Todd Nauck paying tribute after McFarlane down there on the tombstone in the art. Again, got to appreciate that when the artist does that. Also along the way, we got Jackpot. So special homage variant edition on Amazing Spider-Man 31, legacy number 925, going back to 300. This time, this is again on the second printing, and it notes, look at all those 300s behind it for Jackpot. And they even did a second print, and they also did a 1 in 25 incentive on it that just took all the trade dress off of it. So, boom. Now, in addition to that, here's a whole bit of a chunk that I found where these are under $10 that Dynamite themselves did. Dynamite loves doing covers. If you haven't noticed, there are enough covers every book, every month to like have a version for every letter of the alphabet. It seems it's just so many different versions, at least 5 different covers with different art and then variations on all those 5 covers. But there was a time we had a bunch of Amazing Spider-Man 300 homages done by Dynamite. Starting, well, not starting, but here they go. So, also, these are all cheap books, under $10. Go dig. Build out a set as best you can for all these homages if you want. It would be a lengthy endeavor. But Red Sonja, number 4. Boom. No note to McFarlane there, but obviously you see it. Same artist. I forget who this Biggs. I think the artist was Biggs. Did all of these. Oh, there's after McFarlane on the Panther. So on the Panther one, we get the after McFarlane by Biggs. Biggs also did Sheena, Queen of the Jungle. Who else do we got on the Dynamite side of things? Well, yep, you guessed it, Vampirilla. So on Vengeance of Vampirilla, again, we got it on the after McFarlane there on the top of the moon. Paying tribute. Cool. Keep it rolling because we're not done. Army of Darkness was also over there, so why not get Ash doing this? Also, there's the after McFarlane note. Again, it's not on all of them, but it's on most of them. So that's pretty cool. We also have NYX, not the Marvel NYX. So I guess this is just Nyx. So Nyx. Boom. Biggs. Oh, nope, not done. I got another one. Barbarella. Why not? We got Barbarella after McFarlane. Space Planets. No, we done? Nope, still not done because we got Evil Ernie. Let's get Evil Ernie in here too. I'm telling you, there's a lot of these. So much so that we can even go over to some premium editions and some Kickstarters that have used this cover. Again, I'm not covering everything. I just grabbed a bunch of stuff that I thought was interesting that I stumbled across in my research and in my travelings. So, Kickstarter and premiums. What does that mean? Well, here we go with a couple of Kickstarter editions. Special 20th anniversary of She by Bill Tucci. Boom. You could see it. She doing the ASM 300. I believe this Born of Blood might have also been a Kickstarter edition. Does it say after McFarlane in there? Maybe. The After TM. I do see the After TM in the signature. This is from Merc Publishing. So again, a lot of independent publishers doing this too. As we can see here with White Widow also getting in on the action. So White Widow #1 from Absolute Comics. This one, again, after McFarlane, you see the tribute being paid. This is one of the ones that I think was like a premium edition. So this was like $20 out the gate. Some publishers have been doing that lately where it's not so much an incentive, but they'll have a premium edition. Keen Spot's been doing it. Coffin Comics does it a lot. And a lot of other publishers are kind of taking that in. I think Antarctic also might do it, where they'll just have an edition that it costs more right out of the gate. So $20, I believe, on this one, as well as the next one, which I think was another premium one from Big Dog Inc. You know, Lights, Camera, Jungle. But again, you see it, and I think it says After Todd maybe in that signature. Can't read it; it's kind of tiny, but tribute is being paid. Once again, bunch of stuff. But the biggest offender, well, maybe I shouldn't call it offender, but the biggest source of these homage covers comes specifically from exclusives. Man, store exclusives, they are not shy in going this route. Whether it's like, screw it, just do it. We want to do an exclusive for this new Spidey book or Venom book. What do you got for us? Well, give us an artist. What do you want me to do? Give me an ASM 300. That seems to be a very popular thing that has been said because there are a shit ton of these. And I'm not even going to, again, can't show you all of them and pay. And also factor in that many of these have multiple versions. Keep that in mind too. So with that, let's just look at a bunch of exclusives. Starting off with Phantom. Phantom did a bunch of these. Ant-Man. Spider-Gwen. We've got Black Cat here on an issue with Silk. Well, this one's by Larry's Comics. I'm sorry, but it still fits the whole thing. And it's Todd Nauck after McFarlane. Again, artist paying tribute. Always good to see. Here's the Thor one. So on Thor 8, a Phantom variant. Also, Nauck after McFarlane. This one has like 3 or 4 different versions. There's like gold and silvers and trade dress and virgins. And there's all different variants on a lot of these exclusive variants, which is another pain in the butt too if you're trying to collect all of them. Good luck. Phantom also gave us Carnage. So we got Carnage, another Nauck after McFarlane, and Silk. We got Silk here doing it too. And who else we got? They got Todd Nauck to do Deadpool. Yeah, so we got Deadpool here on issue 45. Man, that's a lot out of Phantom. You know who else gets a lot of these done? Venom. You might guess. I mean, ASM 300 is technically the first appearance of Venom, or the accepted first full appearance of Venom, I guess you would say. So, as you can expect, we have a lot of Venom exclusives. So with that, let's look at a few of them. We've got Venom 1. Yeah, that's... Who did this one? This is Mayhew. All right, yeah. So Mike Mayhew. And he also pays tribute after McFarlane there. Again, you see it's done pretty well. Pretty matchy with the cityscape and all that stuff. But there you go. Venom 1. We also get it done on Venom 25. Because why not? And how about Venom 30? Yeah, cool. Let's just keep it up. Why not? Just do the whole run. How about every issue of Venom, we do an ASM 300 homage to it? Cool. Sounds like a plan, because we're going to do it again on another #1, because why not? Keep it doing it, you know? Do we have any more? Yeah, we got more. We got Venom First Host. Sure. Doesn't even have to just be titled Venom. Let's do it on other Venom side projects here. So we got that. This one being, I think this looks like a Clayton Crane. Also, there's the After McFarlane down there in the bottom. Paying tribute. Then we got this one. Hey, Todd Nauck. Once again, Venom. This was on #6. Hey, why not? And sometimes it's on Venom books, but it's not exactly Venom. It's somebody like this dude. I don't even remember this guy's name. I thought it wasn't going to be, it's not Null. It was, I forget what this stupid character's name. Like, King in Black storyline just really wore me out. But tribute is paid at the top there after McFarlane. So on issue 26, we got that. And then you got Kid Venom getting in on the action, Death of Venomverse. Much different vibe, different style here, but you still see it. It's still ASM 300. And then, hey, after Venom, we can get into any character you can think of. They've basically done this pose and done this cover. How about Archie? Want to get in the Archieverse? We can do that, because we got Betty doing it by Dan Parent. There's a little tribute down below after McFarlane. If you did Betty, you got to do Veronica, right? And if you're going to do Veronica, why stop there? You might as well do Josie. So cool. That's what I'm talking about. 3 versions right there, all on that Archie and Friends Superheroes #1. Hey, then we got those Do You Poo books. I mean, obviously they gotta do it, right? Because somebody's buying that stuff. I don't know, but it's done. So we got a Deadpool Winnie the Pooh one shot doing this, and we also got, Good Boy, cool, at a Source Point. So yeah, we got a dog in a suit doing it. Issue 4. Hey, how about Pickle Rick? While we're at it, so Pickle Rick doing it. So on the Rick and Morty book, Pickle Rick, why not? Power Rangers, sure. Let's get the Power Rangers in on the action. So again, tribute paid. See right there on the scroll. And let's not forget about Marvel. Marvel didn't give up on doing these. They're still doing them. Marvel Zombies Resurrection, snick, snick, snick. But it's Zombie Wolverine this time. Again, tribute paid in the signature. Hey, it may not make sense for every character to do this pose, but hey, let's try it anyway. Let's make Juggernaut do this pose, because why the hell not? So Juggernaut even gets the ASM 300 treatment in trying to do this back-breaking athletic gymnastic pose. Yeah, let's make Juggernaut do this. Okay, still going. We aren't done yet. We're almost there, but we're not done yet. Yep, sure, Daredevil, but this is Electra Daredevil, but it's just Daredevil. That's confusing why they decided to do that. It made sense when he was dead, but then he comes back. You both can't use the same name. You can't just, I'm Daredevil, you're Daredevil, we're all Daredevil. I get it. I mean, Spider-Man does it too with Miles and Peter Parker doing it, but it's just kind of frustrating when you really think about it. It's like, if you're talking a conversation about those characters, well, who do you mean? Anyway, Todd Nauck. Again, he has to be the winner, I think, for the artist most doing this homage. I think so. And for what we saw, the Todd Nauck name has been there, and he does give credit right there after McFarlane on it all, if not most. So, at least in so far of what we've gone over here, right? You didn't see any more. How about Darkhawk? So we got Darkhawk doing it here. We got I think it's Miguel Mercado doing this cover. So Darkhawk issue 2, cool. How about Spider Woman? Yeah, let's do this here too. I think it's Rainbow Gonzalez, maybe. But regardless, to keep it rolling, we've got Spider-Man in a new suit. Cool. Is this Tyler Kirkham? I think it's Kirkham after McFarlane. Let's keep it rolling. Here's Miles. There we got Miles doing it in that outfit I hated. Hey, let's just put him in a hoodie. What? How's that a step up? How's that an upgrade to your costume? Seemed like a downgrade to me. Anyway, Mike Mayhew did this one after McFarlane. Who else we got? Spider-Man 2099. Why not do the 2099? So 2099 Exodus #1. We've also got it over here on Source Point doing another one. We're doing it on the Little Ronin #1. Other strange characters we're going to mix in here. Hey, let's just do it on Edge of Spider-Verse 2. Why not? And this is also Kirkham. Kirkham also did quite a few of these. So Chasing Todd Nauck, Tyler Kirkham did a bunch of these as well. Because here's a run of these or all these characters. So we had this other Spidey suits. Now we got some Edge of Spider-Verse characters, including got her right here on issue 2, the last one. And then we've got this Spidey here with the futuristic things going on. I'm just exhausted in looking at these. But hey, they're out there. Somebody said this was a good idea to go through all these. There we go. Another Kirkham. It might be head-to-head between these two at this point. I don't know. But I got a Black Cat on the Edge of Spider-Verse. And why not do Spider-Ham? Right? We could do Spider-Ham too. Have some fun. And then we got the Dreamweaver. How about the Dreamweaver Spider-Man? Sure. Screw it. Let's do that too, because we need to have this. And hey, didn't we forget about Spider-Boy? Spider-Boy was a big deal. He's got to get one, right? We did one on his book, but it wasn't him. Oh, there we go. He's got his book too. So let's do that on #7. And I feel like we're forgetting somebody. We at least had to do one, right? Spider-Punk. Oh, yeah, sure. Don't worry. We got Spider-Punk covered. There you go. Spider-Punk covered on 33. Is that it? Is that it? Can we think any more Spider characters? We need to do this pose and this cover. You know what? Let's take Cyclops and make him a Spider-Man, and let's do that too. Cool. Let's throw that one on a cover. All right. We got it. So Weapon 8 or whatever the hell he was called. Granted, it wasn't a terrible read, but Jesus, is this where we're at? I guess so. And hey, it doesn't just have to be the Spider characters. Let's look at a couple more before we start to wrap this thing up, including, hey, New York Comic Con, let's get a Cap. Let's get Captain America on here. And yes, Todd Nauck punching back, knocking Tyler Kirkham back, say, hey, Kirkham made a run there, but I still think Todd Nauck there is at the top. And then probably in a very distant third place, it's either got to be Biggs doing those Dynamite ones or Mayhew. Mayhew's done this a few times too. We got a Mayhew right here. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So She-Hulk, we got a She-Hulk there. Who else we got? Not another Homage. Yeah, it is. So 39, Deadpool. And while we're at it, let's do one more Deadpool. Right? Yep. With Jeff the Land Shark eating some pizza. Dan Panosian after McFarlane, because why not? Hey, and I like Dan Panosian. So with that, that's why I decided to end there. But we're not done. Because apart from the homages, I guess while we're doing this and we're talking about the cover for ASM 300, we might as well cover the reprints really quickly. There's not a lot to do here, but there are a few you want to take note of. You got those True Believer ones, very cheap, very easy to find. These are $1 when they came out, so you can usually find these in a back issue bin somewhere for cheap, because again, they cost $1 to start. So True Believers, cheap reprints, not a bad idea for Marvel to do these. There was also the facsimile, where they did the facsimile reprint, where they just basically tried to do the exact same book, albeit for more money, $7, but cool. Then they have shiny foil versions, sure, because why not? Do a shiny foil facsimile while we're doing this. And then we have like those included. I think this is the Walmart one. I think it was included with something. There might even be an edition that came with a Toy Biz figure. So you got those ones included with other projects and other media out there. And this Walmart one does all right. This one's $41 if you can find it. So you got to look for that not for resale box down there instead of the Spidey head. And what else do we got here? We got the 3D version. So there was a time when Marvel was doing these once in a while. We got the 3D version. Granted, they're $8 to start, but you get a pair of 3D glasses inside. But this one does all right. It's $21. So if you can find it, you can get over $20, so you double your money plus. And then there are a plethora of foreign versions. You got the Lamoles and the Mexican editions and other foreign options out there. My favorite being the Italian. So we've got the Lualmo Ragno. I'm just gonna butcher something. I'm gonna try. But issue number 91. I love how it's got the black cover. It matches the black suit. You got a Venom down below. Luckily, I have one of these behind me here. Cool. Matthew Roybal hooked me up with one of these back in the day. Yeah, I got a 9.2 on it. It looked nicer to me, but got a 9.2 on it, so that's fine. That's back when I was grading books. Now I don't really care so much about grading, but it is a pricey one these days. So $340 for a raw near mint one. So yeah, I did not pay $340 for that. So did all right, I guess. And then we have that popular Chromium edition. I don't know. This is a Marvel Special Collectibles Edition, Collectibles Classic, Chromium foil, shiny reprint. Not easy to find. This bad boy, almost $700. So pretty expensive edition for this one. Actually outpacing the regular edition. The only one to outpace it is that Chromium edition because, again, it's pretty tough to find. But otherwise, we'll just look at the original, the OG ASM 300. Again, I got my copy over here. Let me grab it one more time. And yeah, plenty of comics we can do this for. But that's all I got for you on this topic. Let me know what you think about the presentation, the segments, the sections. What do you want more of? Do you want more pricing info? Do you just want more covers? Do you want me to just go through it quicker? Do you want less covers? Do you want multiple books shown on the screen at the same time? I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. But I do want to appreciate you and thank you for stopping by and checking this out. Tons of books we can still do. We can do Spider-Man 1. We can do FF1. We can do Giant Size X-Men 1. We can do Wolverine #1. There's a crap load of covers that get done and overdone where we can look at a whole group of them all together and do a quick little Deja Vu episode, maybe once a month or something like that. Nothing on too regular, but just for something for fun. I might put out a poll for what book you guys might want to see next. If you like this topic, if you don't think it's a great topic, we can move on and I can spend my time elsewhere, but I figured I'd give this a shot to see what you all think. So with that all said, I'm going to just cut it there and say thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you soon with some more content. All right, later.